On today's Moving the Chains, a great interview, Jarrell. We got Nick Dixon, head coach of the Chesterfield Rams.
Yeah, super excited about this one and bringing it to the people. Got an alum here. It's always fun to see these stories of them coming back to the school and, getting an opportunity to coach their alma mater. So just excited to see what Coach Dixon's going to do. This is a really up-and-coming program and just excited, for the future there.
A really fun interview. Hope you guys enjoy it. Once again, on Moving the Chains, we've got Nick Dixon, head coach of the Chesterfield Rams.
Get ready for the ultimate South Carolina high school football experience with Movin' the Chains. From previews to recaps, we've got you covered. Dive into our expert preview shows, predicting winners and sharing insights. Then join us post-game for the thrilling recaps, exclusive interviews, and highlights you won't find anywhere else. Plus, connect with fellow fans on our Friday night spaces on Twitter/X. No one covers South Carolina high school football like us. Join us at Movin' Chains on all social media platforms and visit movinchains.com today.
Welcome into Moving the Chains, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. I'm Calvin Thomas alongside Jarrell Hendricks. Got a great interview today, a very special guest, the new head coach of the Chesterfield Rams, Nick Dixon. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing good today. What about y'all guys?
Doing well, man, and we appreciate your time. We really do. If this is you guys' first time tuning in, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter/X, Instagram, YouTube, and more at Moving Chains. Website, movingchains.com. Our podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, and all podcast platforms. Coach Dixon was hired in March. He was the offensive coordinator and assistant head coach last season for the Rams. Had been on staff for 7 seasons overall. Prior, he spent time at McBee, Hannah-Pamplico, and Newberry College. Coach, let's start there. What's that kind of transition been like, going from an assistant all these years to now being the head man there at Chesterfield?
It's been a whirlwind, but I appreciated it. It wasn't nothing, I wasn't used to not doing. Kind of did a little bit of it going into last season, into the summer. So it was kind of like a, dress rehearsal that first time. And, when it come around this time, it was like I kind of took it by the horns and went on with it into the summer. So it's been a pretty easy transition going forward to kids. It was pretty easy for them to transition. Like I was a new guy coming in trying to, they knew my expectations and kind of went with it and flowed with it. So it's been a pretty good transition.
Coach, let's talk about your background. I know those folks around that Chesterfield program are really familiar with you and your playing and coaching career. But for those who aren't, if you don't mind getting into that and tell us how you got to this point as the head coach.
All right. As everybody knows, I played here, played quarterback here, led us to our first state title in 2006. Went on to sign to Newberry, played there. Signed as a quarterback, ended up playing some outside linebacker later on in my career. Once I had shoulder surgery, and I was like, dude, what do I want to do? And I knew I wanted to get into education. And Coach Knight asked me, like, you want to be a student assistant? I said, sure. So I got my first taste of coaching at Newberry College, helping Bennett Swaggart with the quarterbacks. I did that one spring and one season with the quarterbacks. Then next spring, going to my graduating year, I went to over to the defensive side with Coach Flynn, kind of learned a little bit on the defensive side because I knew I wanted to get into high school coaching or whatever. So once I graduated, I made a stop at McBee High School, worked with Hall of Famer Charlie Poole there. That was a great learning experience just because it was totally different from what I was used to, being a spread guy. We was in the wishbone. So it was like total opposites. Where we maybe throwing it 30 times a game, we running it 30 times to 60 times a game. While we was there, we kind of changed that program around, played for 3 consecutive upper state titles while I was there. Coached baseball there. We won a state title in 2016 there. Once I left McBee, once that job, the work there was finished, I ended up going down to Pamplico with Coach Johnson, and probably one of the best moves of my life just because he kind of let me grow as a coach. When I was there, I was going to be the offensive coordinator, ended up being the defensive coordinator and the quarterbacks coach, which was a different spin to it. Was the head girls basketball coach at Hannah-Pamplico. Kind of went with that program. We lost in the 3rd round to Scotch Branch that year, and coached softball there. So that kind of got me used to, coaching the female side of things. So it was a great learning experience. I was there, then the opportunity open for me to come to Chesterfield, come to coach. I was like the head JV coach and quarterbacks coach here for a few years. Then Coach Maines, so it was under Coach Maines, which is at Mid Carolina now. Then Coach Easton came in. I was his quarterback coach and pass game coordinator. Then Coach Quinn came in, named me as associate head coach and offensive coordinator. And we hit now this year. I'm the head coach, and of place where I played. Well, I told the kids the other day, I said, I put my cleats on in the same locker room, walk these same halls. Cleats been that same grass, so there really is nothing you could tell me that you ain't went through. So I'm here now. So,
Coach, you mentioned it briefly there, but obviously, being an alum of Chesterfield, how special is that getting to come home? And I know you've been on staff, but now actually being the head coach there, how special is that for you?
It's different because when as an assistant, it all don't fall on your plate, but it's like it's just a different vibe in the community. The excitement there, and when I'm in the grocery store, and it's like it's Chesterfield, so we all go to the same Piggly Wiggly. We all be in grits and grocery or the Alco or the TNC, which is right up from the school. So we see each other all the time. So it ain't like some of these other places where you get on Walmart and not be known. Everywhere you go, people know who I am, and they talk and just that genuine conversation. So, but it's a different feeling. It's kind of hard to explain, but I enjoy it. So it's a program that I played in, so it's special to me. It just ain't a title. It feel like it's a responsibility than just a title being the head coach. So.
Coach, you were elevated on the staff. You were associate head coach and OC. How about your staff? Were you able to retain a bunch of players, keep that continuity going, or did you bring in some new staff members? And you don't mind shouting those guys out for us?
Yeah. So I retained most of my staff that was here from the last time that worked with me in the spring. My offensive line coach and strength coach, Coach Kevin Caskey. Adam Caskey. I'm sorry. He's my offensive line and strength guy. Great guy, great knowledgeable of the game. Just the kids love him. Not just football guys, even the other students in the building. Coach Sykes, which is my running back coach. I pick at him. I said, "Dude, you're my director, football operations." I give him like little sneak tags, and he was like, he'll do the dirty work. He don't mind working. It's a little different now. You may have to hear him, complain about it a little bit, but I don't mind it. We all got a good relationship around here. Got Dylan Moon back, which was the recruiting coordinator at St. Andrews before everything happened there. Got him to come back as my D-line co-defensive coordinator. Nick Jolly, he was the defensive coordinator last year. He's still that role. So they kind of bouncing off each other's ideas, and got Coach Dustin Rayfield, which he just got back out of basic training. He did his basic training with the reserves or whatever. Glad to have him back. He got his first passing league in, first practice in yesterday. He was happy to be around the guys, and our middle linebackers, enjoyed seeing him coming back. Dantrell Lewis, most of the guys, and I was telling somebody this the other day, I got 17 coaches on staff that's like either volunteer or paid guys. Out of the 17, 14 played here at Chesterfield, either played with me or came behind me. So that's another good thing where you got coaches that know the community, the kids know them, and the families know them. And I'm a firm believer. People don't let their kids play for people they don't trust. And, kids are coming out, wanting to play, be a part of the, this new wave that we got going on here. I got some young guys that played for me here at Chesterfield. Coach Asher Williams, that's going to be over my middle school stuff. I sub varsity programs. I hate to keep naming names and may forget somebody, but I got a great staff. Got a few volunteers. Some guys that actually coached me was the former defensive coordinator, Grant Calder. He's coming back to help in like an analyst role. on the offense and defensive side. Where, eyes for me, if he sees something on defense that, that may help me on Friday nights or, going from there. And Coach Victor Barefoot, I call him, he's the special assistant to the head coach. So he kind of watched me grow up. Me and his son grew up playing ball together, one of my best friends. And so it's good to have him and that knowledge, that wisdom in my back pocket, to kind of help me and guide me through this journey. And you got other coaches, that's on staff that, they do their part. Like I said, Coach Jolly, he's the head girls basketball coach, and I got Coach Davis, Ernest Davis. He's the boys basketball coach. So I got 2 head coaches on staff. So, that's always a good thing to have as well. So,
Coach, what can people expect to see, maybe scheme-wise from you guys on both sides of the ball? And also, will you call plays for either side as well?
Yes, I've been on both sides of the ball as a defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator. I'm an offensive guy, play quarterback, so I would call my plays. Coach Casket helping that, that offensive staff will help do it together. But I call the plays on Friday nights. Coach, and we'll be a spread team, 11 personnel, power counter. We'll throw it if we have to. But even though I'm a quarterback, I like running the ball. When you could just move a man amongst his will and get them tough yards, that's that's the name of the game. And if you're able to stop the run, you're pretty good on defense. We'll be based out of 3-4. And be aggressive out of it. We're gonna be aggressive. We're gonna try to set the tone defensively. Be the hammer, not the nail, type deal. So that's kind of what we'll see, and we're gonna be aggressive. It's gonna be a fun game to see offensively. Coach Tannehill was my coach. So there's some things that I take from that. Is when I put my own spin on it, but just some things we'll do that people familiar with or whatever.
Coach, you mentioned some impressive coaches that you played for or worked under. I mean, we've had Coach Swag on our program before, Coach Johnson on our program before, and the list goes on of who you've named. As you're coming up through the ranks as an assistant, you totally kind of pick things away from each coach. Who are some influential, coaches that you've taken things from that you kind of model your style as a head coach?
Yeah, I talk to Coach Burles on a regular basis through this process, which, he was just on the last episode. So I picked his brain on some things. Coach Perrin at Wando, picked his brain about some things, some high school guys. Coach Page, I call him in a minute. He'll talk, had that old wisdom. Coach Page, he been around at Hall of Famer. And I took something from every coach that I've worked for. Coach Poole, just his organization. He's an engineer at heart and, deals a lot with numbers and just things he used to. I'm like, you're a sharp guy. Jamie, just that culture part of it, building that culture, building that excitement for football. Just a lot of things he did. I take and put my own spin on it. Coach Eason, that's at Central. Some things that he did. I put my own spin on it. And Coach Quinn, just the PR things. He was very good at that, and even the X's and O's and building relationships with other guys, and the networking aspect of it. So those guys. Coach Knight, my college coach, great guy. Got it. Made me a man. And also Coach Tannehill, them guys right there kind of shaped who I am today, made me who I am today. So I appreciate them guys. College-wise, I like what Coach Beamer doing there at South Carolina, that excitement. So them some of the guys I look at, and it's really not scheme-wise because everybody running the same thing when it comes to scheme. It's about them little things, getting kids motivated to be better men versus, just ball players, being productive citizens going into the real world. That's what I kind of look at, trying to pick things from these other coaches, these coaches at the other levels. So,
Coach, who are a couple guys that you've maybe identified as potential breakout players for you guys that we should keep an eye on this fall on Friday nights?
Quarterback Bryce Adams, he's a 3-year starter for us. I think he's going to have a big season this year. Running out offense. Sincere Hubbard is just the anchor of our defense. Middle linebacker played in the Junior Blitz Bowl game last year. Those two pretty much are, our guys, our leaders. The kids look up to them. They always doing the right thing in the building. Outside the building, making sure them young guys got questions, they usually go to them. A lot of times, I get mad at Bryce at 7-on-7. I'm like, hey, man, come on, let's get the play. But, he making sure his guys are in the right position, making sure they got the right routes, things like that. So that's always a good thing. Some other guys, Amani Welch, which is a receiver for us. He'll be a junior this year. Had a big year last year, kind of came out of shell at DB and receiver. One of our offensive linemen, Marquand Blunt. He's a junior, young guy, just a leader. I don't mind working hard, and, just a big, good guy. You got some young guys, dude. I got some young ninth graders that's going to be special. That class going to be. They got some dudes in that class. Starting with Wallace Herring. He's going to play some middle linebacker, some receiver for us. Marquarion Smith, which can play some D-line, a little bit of running back. Avery McCall, dude. And, the first time I met with them guys in the spring, Avery, I'm like, man, you can't have your phone in meetings. He's like, Coach, I'm using to put notes down. I'm like, we ain't had that in a minute. Kids want to be on Snapchat.
It's a different time, isn't it?
Yeah. It just shocked me that he was, that eager to learn, and Zamir Bennett. Them 4 guys gonna be good. And you got some other guys like, Dawson Harper. So, you got a good group of that 9th grade group. And we got some guys in the 8th and 7th grade. And that's one thing that I'm doing here now that during the summer. I got 7th through 12th here. It's not just my 9th through 12th. I got the whole program here, and learning the verbiage, learning the plays, now I see expectations in the weight room and so forth. They seeing us early, but it's like, oh, I don't know this guy. You knew him. You seen him when you was a rising 7th grader coming over. So those some guys, that even we had a transfer come in later in mid-year. Braden Morton, he's gonna help us. Mark Moten in the secondary, and Mark's a junior. Braden's a sophomore. So we got some pieces, but they're young. But I feel like we're gonna be good. And I see in class, with Jaden Wallace and other guys in that senior class gonna be Derek Lockhart. They're gonna make things work for us,
Coach, we're catching you mid-July, and obviously you got elevated on the staff, so you're familiar with a lot of the kids as you were able to name off a bunch there. What's something that you've gone through spring ball, gone through this early off-season period, and really getting locked in to go into fall camp? What's something that you've really learned about this group as you get prepared to go into the season?
They want to win. They want to be, they want to be respected. The senior class had 4 head coaches. I'm the 4th head coach the senior class had in 4 years, and they want consistency. The discipline part, that's the big thing. Me and one of my coaches, after the kids left, and we got back from passing leave today, and just looking at the weight, I'm at the locker room. Locker room clean, no trash. All the helmets are turned the same way. Shoes and things all in the right way. Little things like that make big things happen. So these seniors are taking charge of, holding these guys accountable, making sure things are done the right way. We always live on the Ram way, be on time, always be respectful, always do the right thing, and, always show respect. So, and that's something we always going to do. Them 4 pillars ain't going to just make you a better football player. It's going to make you a better person in the future. So these kids is just taking these things that we given them, coach staff giving them, and making sure our younger kids are doing the right thing in themselves. So, and these young kids, they'll check them older guys if they're not doing it. They'll make it known, and which I like that. You got them guys coming back 2 and 3 years from now. That's a good thing. They don't mind checking a senior about doing the right thing. So,
Coach,
that's one of the good things.
Coach, you mentioned passing league. How's that stuff been going for you guys? Do you like the 7-on-7, and have you tried out much of the 11-on-11 yet as well?
Yeah, we ain't did no 11-on-11. I had the itch to run the ball today. I'm like, dude, right here, we ain't gonna be going it. We're gonna run power counter. There ain't no secret to it. If we was playing one team, I was gonna throw the jet sweep on them. Like, well, if you get mad, it's a pass. But it is what it is. But I mean, we have showed progress from the first one to now. Just that first one, I mean, it was like, whoa, we got a lot of work to do. And the guys seen it. Until the next 3 or 4, it was like, dude, we've been going at it, out of the 12 or 15 games that we actually played. We only lost about 4 or 5 of them. So, I mean, the kids, being competitive, they don't want to lose. Like today, we put a goal on it. We want to go 4-0. So we met it. We put some, goals on some picks. We wanted 5, we got 7. So that little things like that, showing them kids wanted, like, and we went to the last game, we met our goal. They're like, oh, let's get 5 more, so they pushing this up to be great. And that's what, as a coach, that's what you want to see from a young team do. So, I mean, we really going to have 4 seniors and everybody else underclassmen. So that, I mean, summer has showed me some things that I didn't expect. And then, it's still room to improve. I'm going to find things that we need to improve on a lot. So this summer has been good. I push them, It ain't like we come over here and, we do some lifting, we go home. Now, we talk about TPW, we're going to see how tough you is. And they keep coming back for more. So that's always good when you see that out of young crew.
Coach, 2 things stood out to me early in the interview that you told us. Mentioned that you're in the community, you run into people and everyone knows who you are at the Piggly Wiggly or wherever. And then also, like you mentioned, that parents are not going to let, their children play for you if they don't trust you. And that comes from, your familiarity with the area, playing there and being a coach for a while. How has that community really rallied around you and supported your ascension to the head coach status and then your staff?
Dude, I mean, it was just when it was announced, I mean, it was just crazy on Facebook on our school page. It was like shared over 300 times, something wild. And it was just like, that's what the people wanted. It was just like, all right, we got our guy. And in my shoes, I'm like, well, this is what we wanted. Let's do it the right way. Like I'm having a women's clinic. First time we ever had something here like that, and I got like 35 women signed up for it. We having it the night after we play at the Jamboree, and the women are excited. Like they had this whole little message thread going on Facebook, like how they was gonna be prepared for it. Got a youth camp going on next week for 3 days. So I mean, got 60 kids signed up in like 48 hours, and I was trying to, I didn't want to turn nobody away, but we had that our feeder program, our rec guys, coming through and, having that next week and some other things we're going to do just to keep the community involved. We helped our solicitor of our district, move offices from, the courthouse to another building. So we're going to want to be seen in the community because, we ask the community for things. We want to see that. We're just not asking. We want to actually help build this community and kids doing the right thing. So community support been out of this world. The golf tournament, we had a great turnout with that. I think we had 42 teams, 45 teams. Did two team times at our local golf course. And I mean, it's been wild with the support that I had since March 10th here. So, and like I tell them, I don't hold it lightly. Like I said, this ain't just a title, it's a responsibility.
Founders Federal Credit Union means banking made for you. The on the go, the pick up and go, and the I want to go. Because at Founders, we give you the financial tools that make every dollar work for you. For the little things to the big things. For your future and your peace of mind. We'll always stay grounded in our roots, but reaching beyond what you'd expect is where we'll always go. Find out what our members already know and enjoy a new way to bank. Relax, you're with Founders.
couple easier ones here for you, Coach. Let you go today. Maybe on the bus to an away game, at your office for a home game. But what's on your pregame playlist as you get ready to take the field on Fridays?
I got a little mix, man. I just can't say it's just one thing. I'm always had some little Bootsy on there, the early 2000s.
Yeah, okay.
Better believe it.
You better believe it. Oh, yeah, that old mixtape Bootsy.
Love it.
Mind of a Maniac type deal. It's a local artist around here, from the Hartsfield Shore, Trap Dickie.
Yep.
I bumped that trap, just because, he local guy,
Hey, Blue Devils is a heater, man. That's a heater.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and he kind of remind me of Bootsy. He got some of that, that old school Bootsy flavor. I listen to a little gospel, and I know that's kind of far fetched, going in there, a little R&B. I had a homeboy I played with, and he was an R&B guy. I'm like, dude, I can't listen to that before a game, but I put a little twist in there. So it's a little mixing, and other stuff that may come on. I try to listen to this new stuff, but I just don't get it. The kids, man, sometimes they're like, man, Rod Wave. I'm like, dude, I'm not listening to Rod Wave before no game. Trying to get my mind right, man. That NBA young boy, if I can understand what he's saying some of the time, I may listen to that. But, whatever they bump it in the weight room, I kind of listen to it. I'm like, oh, that's got a nice little flow to it, but, I'm going to be with that Bootsy, Jeezy, that early 2000s, what I played before, Pastor Troy,
Hey man, I refuse. I agree with you. That crunk trap era, it can't really be beat there, Coach.
Can't beat it, man.
I love it. But gospel, that's not far fetched. We've gotten a lot of gospel hits the last few.
Gospel, I got my own little, own witness contempt. I like that, that back in the day quartet gospel, some Willie Banks and Cancer Spirituals type.
I love it. Oh, yeah. I love it. Coach, this is a question we ask everybody that joins our program, and it involves food. That Chesterfield area, you're from there, so you get no passes. Me and Kevin are coming down there for a game. What are some restaurants that we got to hit up in the
I'm gonna do you like Burroughs did, hopefully, it ain't much. You really can't stay nowhere in Chesterfield, but you go to Toronto, the Spring, maybe, and stay there.
All right.
So we're gonna do it like a 2-day.
Okay.
That's fun. Okay.
All right. So you come into Chesterfield to a Friday night game. In this moment, I'm gonna give you some things. So you got, if you want just a little hot dog, I don't eat hot dogs, but everybody
we do, Coach.
Oh, yeah, trust me, I've seen it. Grits and Groceries. It's a local store that helps out our program. But my brother-in-law, which is from Charleston, Hollywood, South Carolina, said it's the best hot dog you ever had, best hot dog in the world.
All right.
I don't know. I don't eat hot dogs, but everybody else say they are. So Grits and Groceries, convenience store, is a gas station.
Mark the tape, Kevin. Best in the world. Best in the world. We got to stop. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'll let you finish.
So then, if you want a steak, good steak, got to go to Carolina Restaurant. On Saturdays, the parking lot is just jam packed. You can't really get in there. No windows in there type deal. But if you want to get steak, got to go there. They also got a local restaurant that helps out big time here called The Bank. They get you some wings for the game. And also Gardner Brothers Barbecue. They got a food truck. Get you some barbecue. I tell you, them Ram fries, they pretty good. I get them
on the Ram fries
dressing, but they pretty good. I ordered pork tacos. Pretty good. After the game, you got our Chinese restaurant. You call it once. She gonna remember your number, Little China. It's the best Chinese restaurant in Chesterfield County and Marlborough County, and I say Lancaster County too, neighboring county. I'm gonna put it. Yeah, I'll throw that out there. So at the end of the night, you go to and that's what I do. End of the game, I call my mom. Like, hey, you pick me something up from a Chinese restaurant. She'll bring it to the school. If I'm up here doing something, I'm eating Chinese, watching film. That's kind of like my thing. So you stand in Chesterfield, you want to go to a Wingate game. Real, you may know about this place. About 28 miles from here, it's a barbecue place called John G's.
Been there.
You got to get there early. Maybe a little wait, but them. You got the John G's hat.
I got the John G's hat under the bed. So yeah, I waited. I waited for 4 hours, and it was worth every minute.
I'm gonna tell you what I do. Since I live, I can get there, and I got it done 22 minutes. I'll be on IG. And I just look at the feed. If I say short line, you know what? We having lunch today at John G's. So I get them bacon burnt ends, the brisket. No matter what you get, that's gonna be good. The brisket, fried rice. My officer line coach, he loves that corn. I can't do the corn, the creamy corn, whatever. But John G's. Say if you wanted to go to Coastal, you got to go to Schuler's and Louder. It's pretty good.
Got to.
Woo,
got to
that's
now.
the
Come
heater.
on.
Hey,
Speak my language here, Coach.
That's
Come
Kevin's territory right there,
So
Schuler's.
you got some places in between there. We also got tailgaters in Terrell going that way. That's it's pretty good. But yeah, I feel like we're in a unique area right here in Chesterfield. We ain't that far from Charlotte. We ain't that far from the beach. We ain't that far from Florence. So you're kind of in a unique spot. But that's that 2-day that you want to do. You go on the coastal to watch them play, hit Schuler's up, or you could go take the long way through Hemingway and go to Scott's Barbecue. So
come on. This man, bravo, Coach. Bravo.
Yeah,
I just want to say thank you.
I'm a big dude. I'm gonna find the food places. So.
And anybody watching or listening right now, Coach, that's top 3 right there.
Yeah.
I appreciate the recommendations. I mean, that's just fantastic.
And just like Coach Burrow said, me and Jason, Coach Chef, we played at Newberry together. So
okay,
he telling you the truth.
Yeah,
Jason the cook. Oh yeah, he did a brunch for my mom and grandma's birthday party 1 year. So Jason can cook. So add him on Instagram, add him on Twitter, Facebook. He'll get you right, and he can come to your house and get you right.
There we go. Drill, we'll have to do a podcast with Jason here in a little bit. He's getting all
I'm
the love lately.
He's hot. He's hot.
Yeah, call Jason up, man. He'll get you right.
That's awesome. Well, Coach, last one for you, man. I know it's still a little bit early, but do you guys have any goals set yet for this 2025 season for the Rams?
Yeah, we want to grow the program. Doing that, growing the program, and we're not chasing overnight success. We want to build a culture here that endures from here on out. These guys learning to fight, learning to trust each other, and growing every single day. So it's still a learning process for some of them, but this program was built off grit, accountability and brotherhood. My guys that I play ball with, they've been reaching out, trying to help do the things here, coming back for home, coming back for other games. But, we was built off that brotherhood, and holding each other accountable. We made some progress, but, we far from where I want to be. I'm not satisfied where we at, but I want to keep building that thing. So, it ain't all about the wins. It's about leaving. I tell the kids, it ain't all about the wins. It's about what your legacy going to be when you leave here. How people going to remember you when you're playing in the blue and gold. So that's what I'm trying to instill in those guys. That's my goals, is building this program for the future guys coming up. I remember being a young kid and, I wanted to be a Ram. I wanted to be a Golden Ram. One of my favorite athletes was David Melton. He played quarterback here, my cousin Brandon Belt. That's why I wore the number 11. So it's, little things that I went through. It ain't because, I've seen this pro guy. It was because the guys from Chesterfield guys that did it. So that's kind of my goal. Want these younger guys that want to be Rams, want to play for the blue and gold, want to play in the battlegrounds. That's kind of my goal for going into it this season, just taking it one day at a time and building from there and just showing progress each day and getting better.
Well, this has been great. I want everyone to go check out Coach Dixon and the Rams on social media. They do a great job posting updates on their programming, their kids. Certainly follow them on there. Like I mentioned, follow us at Movin Chains on all social media platforms, our podcast on all podcast platforms, and our website, movinchains.com. Moving the Chains, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Jarrell, anything else for Coach? Let him go today.
Coach Dixon, just so excited for you and the opportunity you're having here to lead your alma mater. Chesterfield, it's one of those programs that had it rolling under Coach Tannehill, and we know that you can do the same thing and have the same successes there. The smaller programs I love them. They're just so much fun. For sure.
Football, man, it's a different. People don't understand it till they in it. It's a different vibe.
Friday Night Lights really mean something down there in Chesterfield County.
This is where you got more people going to be in the battlegrounds on Friday night than people going to be in church on Sunday morning. So
That's right. And we'll talk offline some more about some food stuff too, since you're so well versed.
Oh yeah, we might have to just do a little coaches thing and just hit up these spots, these food spots in these different communities. So.
There we go. Well, Coach, we really appreciate your time, man. Look forward to stopping by a practice or game and get to meet you in person. And best of luck this season, all right?
Yeah, thank you. Go Rams.
Get ready for the ultimate South Carolina high school football experience with Movin' the Chains. From previews to recaps, we've got you covered. Dive into our expert preview shows, predicting winners and sharing insights. Then join us post-game for the thrilling recaps, exclusive interviews, and highlights you won't find anywhere else. Plus, connect with fellow fans on our Friday night spaces on Twitter/X. No one covers South Carolina high school football like us. Join us at Movin' Chains on all social media platforms and visit movinchains.com today.